So we're still on accounting concepts and principles. So we have the exam style questions to do or to work out. Now the first question says, the cost of insuring the owner's personal property. Stop that. What is the sound? How are you driving and driving and driving? We are on accounting, we're still on accounting principles and net realizable value. So we have the exam style questions to work on. So the first question says, the cost of insuring the owner's personal motor vehicle, which is an asset, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is an asset, was not included in the income statement of the business. You know what an income statement is? Where you register all your income and expenditures, right? At the end of it, you get your gross profit and the net profit. That's profit for the year. Okay. So they said, which accounting principle was applied? The cost of insuring the asset owner's personal motor vehicle. The cost of insuring the owner's asset, which is motor vehicle. Insurance is an expenditure, right? But it does not belong to the business. The insurance of the owners of the business motor vehicle. That is what they are saying here. Are you with me?
Yes.
The owner of the business has a motor vehicle and he insured the motor vehicle, which is a cost and expenses. But it was not recorded in the income statement. Normally, all expenditures should be recorded in the income statement account, the profit and loss section. Yes or no?
Yes.
Great. But here, they did not record it to the income statement because it's for the owner of the business. That is what the question is saying. So, if it was not recorded into the business accounts or the business financial record, why? That means they have followed a principle, one of the accounting principles. That means they followed one of the accounting principles. So what accounting principle do they follow? Is it clear?
Yes.
So we have business entity, we have going concern, money measurement, and prudence. So which one among them is based on this principle or on this statement? Do you know what business entity is?
An honor, as I said last time.
Yeah, what's business entity?
An honor that is in the business and separated.
Business entity means that the owner of the business is separated from the business. That is business entity. Going concern means that financial records should be kept as if they will be useful forever. Money measurement means whatever accounting records you need to keep, it has to be of monetary value. You have to record it with monetary value. And prudence means you must not overstate your profit or overstate your assets. You must not understate your liability or understate your losses. Are you with me? So, based on what they said here, it is what? Business entity. Because they did not record this insurance policy or expenses into the business expenses because it does not belong to the business. It belongs to the owner of the business. If the insurance is for motor vehicle of the business, that means motor vehicle used in the business, it will be recorded in the expenses of the business. But the motor vehicle is for the owner of the business. So it must not be recorded in an expenses for the business entity. The owner of the business is separated from the business, or the business is separated from the owner of the business. Is it clear?
Yes.
Good. So the answer is B, A, business entity. That's accounting principle. You can write this, please.
Yeah.
Principle. Stating. Right. So accounting principle stating that the business must be separated from the owner when recording the financial accounts, business entity. Is it clear?
Yes.
So look at the second one. You can stop writing, please. Look at the second one. Then you write it and I'm done. Look at the second one. Here it said, name the accounting principle applied in each of the following. The first one is rent for a business premises related to 29 was not included in the income statement for 28. Rent is an expenses, right?
Yes.
Rent is an expenses, which is also cost for the business. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, great. But this is for 29. So there's an accounting principle that states that your cost for the accounting year must be matched with the revenue of that accounting year. So if we are in 2017, our cost of 2017 must be matched with our expense or our income or revenue of 2017. Do you understand? It's a concept. This is 29. Expenses of 29 must go with the revenue of 29. Expenses of 28 must go with what? Must go with the revenue of 28. Do you get it?
Yes.
So it's a principle, it's an accounting principle which we call matching concept. What do I call it? Matching concept. Matching concept or principle, matching principle. Yeah, so it means the revenue or the cost of this year must be measured or matched against the revenue of this year. So that is what this business has applied. Do you understand? So this business did not apply the expenses of 29 in that of income statement of 28. Because if it does, then it is not following the principle of accounting. Do we understand matching concept here?
Yes.
Good. The second one. Credit sales were recorded when goods were dispatched, sent, not when the customer placed the order. Here we are saying the business sent the goods to the customer which has made an order. But it did not record it when the customer made the order. It recorded it when it's about to send the goods to the customer. This is what we're saying. There's a customer A. He has made orders, right? From business A. So this is the orders now, from here to this business. So this business will dispatch, right?
Yes.
Dispatch to customer A. So when this business make orders, you must not record it as a sales. No. When you make order to business A must not record it immediately as sales. Business A must wait until it sends the product to customer A before it records it as a sales. Do you understand?
Yes.
So it is an accounting principle called realization. Realization. It means you must not record what you have not sold. Don't record on what we call it. Don't dry post. Don't just post because they will bring the money. Yes, let's record it that they brought the money. No, they've not brought the money. Wait until you know that the money is already here before you record it. Do you understand? So a business must not record its profits or sales when it has not really sold it. You know, making an order is different from dispatching the order. When you are dispatching, that means the customer says, yes, bring it now, we want it. The first thing the customer says was, we want these goods. We said, okay, when do you want it? The customer says, we want it on Sunday. So not until that Sunday that you confirm from the customer that the product is coming to its premises before you record it. Do you understand? Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
So you do not dry post. You have to be sure that the customer is willing to take the product before you record it as your sales. Is it clear? So it is a concept called realization. Realization principle. Is it clear?
Yes.
So these are the principles you must follow when you are recording your accounting information. Is it clear?
Yes.
The third one, the value of assets of a business was not reduced when the manager of the business retired. The value of assets of a business was not reduced when the manager of the business retired. What does this imply? Remember we talked about prudence. Prudence means you must not overstate your assets or understate your liability. You must give the record as it is. But here it said the value of assets of a business was not reduced when the manager of the business retired. The value here, we are talking about the historical costs. The value of what you buy. You bought this laptop is an asset. You bought it. So let me say I am the owner of the business. So the value of this laptop is $1,000. If I am retiring, you are that the business still remains there. So you still leave the value as $1,000. That means you did not reduce the value. That means you still followed up with what? The historical cost. The cost that it was, the value it was when you bought it. Do you understand what I'm saying here?
Yes.
You did not reduce the value of that asset. You still put the same value you bought it on the list or on the record. That is historical cost. Do you understand what historical cost is here?
Yes.
The value, historical, history, the value of when you bought it. Oh, I bought this laptop 3 years ago for $1,000. That is the original value. That is the value. So 1 year ago becomes an history. Yes or no?
Yes.
The value you bought it that year is what we mean by historical cost. You must always, for the first time you are recording an asset that you buy, you must record it with the original value. That is an accounting principle, what we call historical cost. Is it clear?
Yes.
So this is historical cost. Historical cost. So the owner of the business, the owner of the business retires or the manager retires, they still didn't change or reduce the value of the asset. That means they left the asset with the same value it was bought. That is what we call historical cost. I think it's clear.
Yes.
The last one, they said cash purchases were debited to the purchases account. Yeah, whatever you purchase has to go to your purchases account, right?
Yes.
It was on the debit, it's a debit balance. And credited to the cash account. What you purchase, you paid cash. So that means you have to credit cash, debit purchases. You paid cash, you give out cash. Credit the giver, debit the receiver. What did you give out? Cash, a credit balance. What did you take in? Purchases, a debit balance. Right? So, if this has happened, it is what? The principle of double entry. Remember the principle of double entry. For every debit entry, there must be a corresponding credit entry. So, the principle of double entry is part of accounting principle, which we call duality. Is it clear? So, these are the principles that were followed in the course of these transactions or through these statements. Is it clear? The first one, matching principle, which means your cost or expenses must be, or for a year, must be matched with the revenue of that year. Realization principle, you must not record your sales or profit until you are certain or you're sure that you are selling it. Historical cost, the value of an asset that was bought must be recorded with the amount it was bought. Duality, for every debit entry, there must be a corresponding credit entry. And for every credit entry, there must be a corresponding debit entry. I think it's clear.
Yes.
Good. We go to the third one. So let me finish this then you write. So the third one, it said, repairs to office machinery were entered as capital expenditure in the accounting records. How did this affect the financial statement? Office machinery is an asset, right?
Yes.
But it was supposed to be recorded as a capital expenditure because what is capital expenditure? Money spent on non-current assets. Money spent on what? Non-current assets is what we call capital So, this was supposed to be recorded in your assets, in your statement of financial position, not in your expenditure. But here they recorded it in where? In the expenses. Repairs of office machinery were entered as capital expenditure. It was not capital expenditure. It is an expenses. Just what I'm saying here. It's an expenses. So it's supposed to be part of your revenue expenditure. Do you understand? It's supposed to be part of the business expenditure. Now that has been recorded as a non-current asset, what happens to your expenses? It means in your income statement, if you forgot to record your expenditures, it will increase your profit, yes or no? You know, you're supposed to take away your revenue from your expenses. But if you forget to take your revenue from your profit, if you forget to take your revenue from your income, it increases your profit, yes or no?
Yes.
So that means your profit for the year will be what? So we have these lines there. Hold on, please. We have a overstated, understated, we have understated, we have understated, great. So we have to understand this. These repairs is an expenses.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
It is not a capital expenditure. Do you understand? It's not a capital expenditure. It's an expenses for the business. So because it's an expenses for the business, it's supposed to be recorded before in your in your income statement. So that means whatever you have gotten in terms of revenue, you have to take away the expenses from it. But now that you've forgotten to take your expenses, you have forgotten to take it away from your revenue minus expenses. That will give you the profit for the year. Now, this one, you forgot to take it away from your revenue. Will it increase your revenue or reduce your revenue? It will increase your revenue. So because it has increased your revenue, it will also increase your profit. Yes or no?
Yes.
So that means profit of the year will be what? Overstated. Do you understand?
Yes.
So this one is not part of it. This one is not part of it. Do you get it?
Yes.
Because here profit is overstated and profit is overstated here. But we need to check the non-current assets before we choose if it is A or C. But definitely B and D are not part of it. Do we understand?
Yes.
So now we go. Capital expenditure is the money you spend on non-current assets. So if you are buying if you buy another asset, if you buy a machinery, what does it mean? It means it increases your machinery, yes or no?
Yes.
So if you have mistakenly put office machinery into capital expenditure, did it increase it or reduce your non-current asset? It increases.
Yeah.
Because you have recorded it with your non-current assets.
Yes.
You are not supposed to record it, you are supposed to put it in an expenditure as an expenses. But you mistakenly put the value into what? Non-current asset as machinery. Do you understand?
Yes.
It's just like saying office expenses and office equipment. They look the same, but they are not the same, right?
Yes.
Office equipment is an asset, a non-current asset. Office expenses is an expenditure, right?
Yes.
Great. So if you mistakenly put this in here, it will increase the value of your non-current asset. Do you understand?
Yes.
Same goes to what happens here. Capital expenditure should be based on your non-current asset, the money you spend on your non-current assets. An asset stays with the business, yes or no?
Yes.
So if you have put the value in for capital expenditure, does it increase your non-current asset or reduce your non-current asset?
Could you repeat that?
If you mistakenly put this figure
Uh-huh.
in your non-current assets as capital expenditure, does it increase your non-current asset or reduce your non-current asset?
It reduces. Current asset increases.
It increases
Yes, yes.
because because it's the figure. It's not, you're not going to put this, you're going to put the value. So the figure you have put now is the figure for expenses. You have put a figure of expenses in the figure of non-current assets. So that means your non-current assets what? To move higher. Do you get it?
Yes.
So it means our non-current assets will be what? Overstated. Do you get it?
Yes.
So your profit for the year will be overstated, your non-current assets will be overstated. Is it clear?
Yes.
So the answer is what? A. I'm going to repeat that. Office machinery is a non-current asset. But the money you spend to repair the office machinery is an expenses. So expenses is supposed to go to your income statement. Yes or no?
Yes.
Great. If it goes to your income statement, you are supposed to take it away from your revenue. Right? That's supposed to reduce your profit. But in this case, you did not put it in your income statement. You went to put it in your non-current assets. So it will make you to think you have more profit, but you have less.
Yes.
So that has overstated your profit. So, because you have added the value to your non-current asset, it will also increase your non-current asset. Because they said capital expenditure is the money spent on non-current assets to increase your current non-current assets. So if you buy a machine, it increases the machines you have. Yes or no?
Yes.
But if you spend on machines, it reduces your profit. But if you forgot to put the value, if you forgot to take away the expenses you spend, the expenses on your machine, if you forget to take it away from your income statement, it increases your profit. So this will increase your profit and at the same time increase your non-current assets. Is it clear?
Yes.
Any questions?